The Australian Maltese Chamber of Commerce welcomes new members. For more details, visit their website amcc.org.au. Merħba lura fil-programm Maltese Down Under. Fit-taqsima li jmiss, Mark Avellino ser joħodna lura fil-kċina ta' Carla Manjon u Tom Carr, ex-kontestanti fil-programm televiżiv My Kitchen Rules.
So a few weeks ago we met Carla and Tom, and they are back with us this week to do another fantastic recipe. So what is your recipe this week, guys?
I guess today I thought about some ingredients that I'm really fond of, and you wouldn't think I think by looking at them, because I think they look
A bit like post-nuclear.
Post-nuclear, very cool.
Yeah.
Tom would call them rustic.
I actually think they look beautiful. Have a look at these.
I think they're the ugliest of the bean family.
They're gorgeous.
And I remember being a kid not wanting to eat broad beans, and then going to Malta and having my auntie Effie make me an incredible Maltese broad bean soup, and just falling in love with them. So I thought, to honour her, I thought let's use some broad beans, and then I thought something else that. For me and my family, all we use with Jibay meat or Maltese cheese is really having it with Maltese crackers. And I thought, let's actually put it in a meal. I mean, maybe lots of people do that, but for me, it's really just a snack. So we thought, we'll use some broad beans, we'll use some Jibay meat, and we're going to make a salad out of it.
So
is this like the most attractive union? Don't judge a book. This recipe is going to be all about don't judge a book by its cover.
Absolutely.
So we're going to use a grain as well that's pretty trendy. So we thought we'd use a three-colour or tricolour quinoa and have that as our kind of carbohydrate. And we thought we'd use some broad beans. We're going to sweeten up some pumpkin, some butternut pumpkin, and use the Jibay meat and make a beautiful salad out of it. All right, Tom, so let's do the things that are going to take a bit of time.
Yep.
So let's get the quinoa on the stove.
Yep.
So just 1 cup of quinoa, 2 cups of water.
Okay.
Are you right to get started?
Yeah,
cool, go for it. And while you're doing that, I'm going to start with the broad beans.
So this is an interesting addition, Carla, because quinoa is, a South American grain. So
You know what? Us Maltese, we're all about integration and mixing. And so we're happy to mix South America with Malta. Why not?
why not?
Taking the best of all cultures
Exactly.
and combining them in there, yeah.
You know what I loved about this? I used to do this with my sisters. Guess how many broad beans would be?
Yeah.
And sometimes you pick a really big one and you'd think, yeah, this is going to have 5, and it ended up having 1 or 2.
Yeah. And so it's amazing how good they taste raw as well.
I'm a raw veggie eater as well. So we've got some broad beans that I've already done up, and they're just going to go on the stove in some boiling water for about 3 minutes just to get them nice and tender. So I'll get onto that.
So we've got some beautiful sweet potato here, which will just add a lovely sweetness to the salads, and some beautiful rosemary from Carla's garden, which we'll toss through with some olive oil.
And
we'll
some
put that in
honey.
the oven.
We might put some honey on there as well, I
okay,
think,
no worries at
just to sweeten it a little bit. So I'll add the honey.
all.
Do you want to pop some in there for me?
Yep, no problems at all.
I'll get you to add some honey as well, Tom. Yeah, so we'll just get some olive oil, some honey, lots of rosemary, pop that on a baking tray, and that can go in the oven on 180 for about 20 minutes. That's right to go.
Yep.
Tom, do you want to do me a favour? There's some rocket there. Just needs to be rinsed and spun in the salad.
Yeah, okay.
And this pumpkin totally looks like it's ready to go for our salad. So it's nice and crispy, it's nice and golden, and tastes really good. So that will be ready for our salad. And those broad beans look like they're cooking well.
How long do you think the broad beans should be cooked for?
Just until they're a little bit tender. So I might give one a taste, Mark, and see how it's going.
So we're just using a rocket as our main green for the salad.
A salad can't be a salad without a green, hey?
Well, apparently not. And we're just going to, it'll just add a nice pepperiness to it, bit of texture.
And those broad beans are done, which is
Those
great.
broad beans are done. Yep, no worries at all.
So why don't we start with mixing our ingredients together, Tom?
Yep, no
So do you want
problem
to just
at
give that a bit of a dry out?
I might just mix it all together in here.
Yeah, great.
And then serve it, is that right?
I think that's a great idea. So what we're going to do is we're going to mix the broad beans, we're going to mix the pumpkin and the rocket all together with the quinoa. And then I thought I'd make a bit of a dressing for it. And I thought what I might use for this time is some olive oil. Some balsamic vinegar.
So how much
How bad am I? I knew you were going to ask that, Mark. So I'm going to do 2 parts of, and look at me, now I'm getting the spoon. I'm really bad at measuring. I'm much more of a taste as I go, but I'd say 2 parts of your olive oil, 1 part of your balsamic vinegar. I'm going to add a little bit more honey. I know I've got the honey on the potato, I know I've got the honey on the pumpkin, but I don't have heaps on there. So I'll add a little bit more honey.
And is that just to give a bit of sweetness, or?
Yeah, just to give the salad a bit of a sweetness because the cheese isn't sweet. Well, there's no other really sweet. There's lots of peppery ingredients with the rocket and with the jabay in it. So just to add a bit of a sweetness to it.
And I think with any sort of salad, what you want is texture, or
Yeah.
different textures, really.
Yeah. A bit of lemon. Just for taste. And my favourite, and your favourite, Mark, a bit of salt.
Absolutely. And you know,
More salt. And
And more
a
salt.
little bit more.
A bit more, and then maybe some sodium. And then why not some salt?
and just some sodium chloride.
And a bit
And
of
some sodium.
bit more sodium.
Bit more salt. As far as quantities, I mean, just do it by sites, right? So I've just thrown some of our tricolour quinoa into the bowl. And obviously we've roasted up some beautiful butternut pumpkin with some rosemary. Just throw all of that in there.
Immediately you're seeing the contrast in colours.
I know.
Colours are gorgeous.
Fantastic.
And a
Yeah.
lot different than that recipe last time because this looks like much more of a wintry dish. Those browns and the quinoa and the oranges and the greens.
Obviously we're going to have beautiful broad beans. So we're going to add the dressing in. Once again, combine it all.
I'm impressed you're still using your hands.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I wouldn't
He
be.
knows what I would call him if he didn't. I would say, man up. I'm going to start with the jabay knit, then slicing this up. What do you think would look good in terms of slicing it? Dice or in
No, I think
slices?
just thin slices.
Just thin
Yeah.
slices, yeah.
It actually reminds me visually of like a truffle.
Yeah, a little bit, isn't
Yeah.
it? What? You're trying to call it ugly? What?
So truffles
But
are
you don't think that the jbeinit is one of those things that is really Maltese? You know, like I don't think there's other Mediterranean cultures that have something similar. Yeah, and if you-
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know.
Okay, so we're going to put some of that beautiful cheese.
In your mouth?
Or good.
You really are taking on the Maltese thing really well.
Absolutely.
He's done it, hasn't he? He's
Yeah,
killed it.
I think he's done it. Yeah.
So again, just throw it on. I mean, you don't want too much structure.
So there we go. We've got our quinoa, broad bean, pumpkin, and jabay knit salad. That's really good. Nice work.
Yeah.
I loved what you did with the rocket.